Callahan. This is Ken Kreitzer in Providence, Rhode Island for Sons of the American Legion Radio at the Providence College ROTC Military Ball. And I have the pleasure to talk to Brigadier General Christopher Callahan, who addressed the audience tonight. And General Callahan is the Adjutant General of the Rhode Island National Guard. General, this must be a nice evening for you to come out and see the future officers of the United States Army at an ROTC event.
No, it was really a great opportunity to see the future of the Army and to see how talented they are, and their youth. The energy is fantastic. Knowing Providence College and the students that attend here and how talented they are, it's a special night. So I was very pleased to be part of it.
Very good. And you talked in your remarks about the importance of leadership that the cadets will demonstrate when they commission in barely a month and move out into the Army. What are some of the qualities of leadership that you'd like to see the young officers have when they join the Army?
You know, when they come in, they're in fantastic shape and their minds are wide open, and they really are in a learning mode, which is fantastic. What we kind of talked about tonight was sort of broadening their lens a little bit so that we could cover down on things like their physical, their mental health, their capacity emotionally and spiritually, so that they become a more holistic leader and someone that, their maturity and their experience comes very quickly. And one of the things about the Army and young leaders is that we give you a lot of responsibility early. So it's their development that we try to focus on.
And we know the Rhode Island National Guard has done a very large share of deployments over the last 15 years. What is, just describe some of the challenges in your role when you've got a National Guard unit that's called on for so many different tasks.
So, our primary role, of course, is our federal mission. That's our focus point. That's the way that we're resourced, but we've got an equally as important role in our state position in terms of defense support to civilian authorities. So we try to balance those. As we, look into 2016 and early 2017, there's a lot of demands on soldiers' times, for our particular units and for the people that serve both in the Army and the Air National Guard. The demands of family life, the demands of their professions, their civilian professions, and then the demands of their military professions are really very challenging, and overall our folks do a great job with that balancing act, but it's always in play. And so what we're trying to do from a leadership perspective is make sure we streamline as much activity as we can to make sure it's the most efficient, the highest quality, so that as we ask them to continue to do more as an operational kind of reserve of the Army, that it blends well with their family life and with their civilian profession.
Hey, I'd just like to ask you, what have been some of your favorite stops serving our country in the United States Army?
So it's a great question, and my marquee moment, I was very fortunate to be an Aviation Battalion Task Force Commander in Iraq for OIF 3, and in fact I was talking with some of the young cadets tonight about that experience offline, and basically I take away from that the teamwork. I was very fortunate to have a group of people working with me that are just so talented still, and were then some 10 years ago. It was just timing for me and being in the right place at the right time, and being, generally I'm a above average kind of performer, B+ guy, but man, did I have a great team of people and great mentors, both on active duty and within the Army Guard and in the aviation community. So that for me, that was the stop and the key moment. And of course, I never thought I'd be a flag officer, which is pretty interesting and exciting, and it's a different kind of leadership, and the responsibilities, of course, are greater. But you get to a point where you still want to train. I'm an aviation trainer at heart, an instructor, and so I'm always looking for an opportunity to teach and coach and mentor and get feedback. So that's what tonight was kind of special, to be with the young adults here.
Absolutely. General Callahan, thank you for your service to our country from all of us at the American Legion.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Good to see you. It's Ken Kreitzer in Providence, Rhode Island for Sons of the American Legion Radio.